In this video lecture, I will explain you complete concepts related to the analysis of outrigger building and designing part of the outrigger building by using ETAP software. So initially I will explain you the modeling process, then after that I will explain you the complete loading application process, then after that I will explain you how to analyze that particular structure, then after that I will explain you finally designing process for the outrigger building. Okay, so if you are new to our channel, please click on subscribe button and click on bell icon for more interesting updates on civil engineering topics. Okay, let's go to the analysis and designing of outrigger building. So here I am selecting my ETAPS 18 version software. So basically outrigger building is nothing but the beam sections which is connected in inclined position inside the building structure for different floors. So here I am considering G plus 12 story building structure. The outriggers are provided at 4th story and 8th story as well as the 12th story. If you are providing the outrigger structure, generally the deflection value will be less. So that we can design the earthquake resistant structure by using outrigger building. Okay, so firstly I am selecting the file option here. Click on the new model option. So here it will ask you to select the settings option here. So initially I am selecting user built-in settings with the metric SI system. So here I am selecting as per the Indian standard system codal provision standard, and steel will be of IS 800 and concrete will be of IS 456 2000. So click on OK option. Then after that we have to enter the grid dimensions data and story dimensions data here like this. So here I am selecting the grid dimensions data in x direction is 6 and this is also 6. So here I am selecting as 3 here and 3 here. Number of stories, here I am selecting it as 12 stories, and each story height will be consisting of 3 meter as well as the typical story height also 3 meter here. So after entering all the data related to the grid dimensions as well as the story dimensions, we need to select the grid only option. Why? Because we are creating a new model, so that's why we need to select the grid only option instead of the blank, steel, struggle, flat and etc. So here I am selecting here, click on OK option. So that the skeleton model will be open here, which is consisting of the 12 story model. So the left hand side window will be called as plan view as well as the right hand side window will be called as 3D view. If you want, you can change the right hand side window to plan view as well as the left hand side window to 3D view. Now you can see this is the skeleton model. So after creating the skeleton model, we need to define the grade of the concrete as well as the steel. Further, click on define option, material property. So here I am selecting the new model. Just I am selecting as per the Indian standard system concrete, which is comes under the M30 grade. Just I am assuming here, click on OK option. Then after that, again in the same process we have to create the steel section also, which is comes under the not steel section, rebar section, which is comes under the HYSD bars of 500. Just I am assuming here according to my consideration. So click on OK option. Again click on OK option. So after defining the grade of the concrete and grade of the steel, we need to define the frame section dimensions like beam dimensions and column dimensions, slab dimensions as well as shear wall dimensions like that. So for that, click on define option, select the section properties, select the frame section. So initially we need to delete all frame section, previous section. So here I am selecting delete multiple options here. So I am selecting here, click on delete frame section. So again I am selecting one more section, click on delete option, click on OK. So now we have to add our requirement according to our definition, just we are adding. So here I am assuming all the dimensions here. So you can assume your dimensions according to your consideration. So click on add a new property. The data will be open here like this. You need to select the shape of the cross section of the column or beam. So initially I am selecting the column which is consisting of the rectangular section which is of 600 cross 600, which is nothing but the square section which is comes under the shape of rectangular here. Okay, so concrete rectangular. So initially I am giving the name, property name as column 0.6 cross 0.6 here. Again we have to enter the material. Just I am selecting here as M30 gradal concrete provision, and depth I am taking here as 600 and this is also 600. So click on the reinforcement option here and we have to select the column here. So here I am selecting HYSD bars of 500 here. So number of bar, just I am entering here as 5 as well as just I am taking the confinemental bars as 12 mm here. So rest of the data just I am keeping it as constant. So click on OK. Click on OK. In the same process we had to delete this property initially. Then after that we had to add the beam section property. So for that just I am selecting here add new property, select the concrete. So in the same process we had to create the beam. Just I am selecting the beam which is consisting of 0.6 cross 0.45. Let us consider. Select as M30 grade and select it as rectangular section. So depth just I am taking here as 450 mm. Sorry, not 450, here 600 we have to consider. Again just I am considering the width as 450 mm. Okay, now we can see this is the dimensions of the beam. So click on the reinforcement value, select it as beam section. Again we have to enter the HYSD bars. Just we have to take the top and bottom reinforcement as same. Just click on OK. Again click on OK. Now we have to create one more section which is comes under the concrete section. So which is consisting of outrigger section. So which is of M30 grade and same 450 mm and 450 mm here I am taking for the outrigger section, which is comes under the beam property. Okay, so here I am selecting HYSD bars of 500. So here I am taking 10% of the cover for the particular beam section. So here I am clicking on OK option. So after that we have to define the slab section. So for that go to click on define option, section property, slab section. So initially I am deleting this property, then after that I am modifying this property. So here I am selecting the slab of 150 mm thickness, select the material as M30 grade. So here I am giving as 150 mm, clicking on OK option. Then after that click on OK. So after defining all this property, we need to define the shear wall also. So the outrigger with the shear wall, just I am assuming here for the model. So go to click on define option here, select the section property and just I am selecting wall. So click on add new property here, just I am selecting shear wall section and which is consisting of M30 grade concrete provision, just I am taking here as 120 mm. Click on OK option. So just I am selecting the wall, click on delete property, click on OK, click on OK. So after defining all the properties like beam, column, slab, outrigger and shear wall section, just we have to assign those properties for the building. So for that just I am selecting here as all models initially. Just I am selecting assignment of the quick drop beams option here. So select the property name as beam instead of the column on the left hand side. So just I am dragging to the plan model here so that it will assign all the beam section for the all the floors. In the same process just I am assuming here as quick draw columns option. In the same process just I am dragging here like this so that it will assign all the properties here. Now we have to assign the slab section. Just I am selecting quick draw floors option here. So instead of property deck 1 just I am selecting slab 150. Just I am drawing here like this so that it will assign all the properties for the building section here like this. Now after this we have to add the shear wall section. For that just I am selecting here as quick draw walls option. So just I am selecting here as shear wall. Just I am assigning at the center point for all stories here like this. Now you can see here it was assigned with one wall. Again I am assigning with one more wall here like this. Again in the same process I will assign remaining two walls here for the building structure as core shear wall. Okay, so after that we had to assign the outriggers for the building. Okay, so here in this case the building structure was consisting of 12 floors. So for the 12 floor structure just I am assuming outrigger will be consisting of inner side section inclined beams will be consisting of at the section of 3, 4 and 6, 8 here. Okay, so for that just I am selecting elevation section which is comes under the C section. Click on OK option. So again we have to draw the beams. So here I am selecting add draw beam option. So now we have to change the property name from the column to outrigger. Just I am selecting the fourth story here. So just I am selecting the draw beam option here. So we have to select the property name as outrigger. Just I am selecting as fourth story here. Just I am selecting here. Again in the same process we have to select one more point here like this. In the same process just I am adding the outrigger in the left hand side section also. So here I am selecting the point here. Again I am selecting one more point here. Again I am selecting one more point here. In the same process we have to assign one more section. Okay, so for that just I am selecting here as draw beams option here. Just I am selecting the point here like this. Again I am selecting the point here like this. Again I am selecting one more point. Now in the same process we have to add all the outriggers. Okay, so for the respected 3, 4 and CD here according to my consideration. So now we have to copy these outriggers to the remaining 8th story as well as the 12th story. So for that initially we have to click on the plan view option. Just I am selecting the 4th story here. Click on apply. Again we have to click on OK option here. Now we have to select the outrigger. Select option. Go to select option. Properties. Frame section which is comes under the outriggers. Select here so that it will select all the outriggers at the 4th story. So in the same process we have to click on the plan view. Just I am selecting 8th story here. Click on apply option so that it will select the 8th story. Now we have to copy these outriggers to the remaining story. Like 8th story and 12th story. For that click on edit option, copy option, again click on edit option, paste option. Just I am selecting OK option here so that it will copy your outrigger to the remaining 8th story. Now you can see the outriggers are copied at the 8th story. In the same process just I am selecting the 12th story here. Click on apply. So click on OK so that it will select the 12th story. So now in the same process we have to copy outriggers. Just I am selecting Control V option so that it will ask you to select the outrigger. Click on OK so that it will copy your outriggers to the 12th story here. So now we can see it will copy your outriggers here like this. So now we can see these are the outriggers. So after assigning all the outriggers, we need to delete the slabs at the ground story. So select the plan level. For that select the base, click on apply option. So click on OK option so that it will select the plan view. So firstly we have to drag all this section by selection option. So click on delete option so that it will delete all the slab sections at the ground. So after deleting property is done, then we have to give the load cases for the building structure. So for that firstly we have to click on the define option here on the top. So click on define option, select the load patterns option. So it will be consisting of two loads here like this related to the dead load, live load. So initially we need to add this earthquake load. Next I am selecting here as seismic loading condition according to Indian Standard System 2016. In the same process we have to add the seismic load in y direction condition. So in the same process just I am selecting wind load in x direction, wind load which is comes under the IS Codal provision of 2015, IS Codal provision of 875. Click on add. In the same process just we have to add the wind load in y direction condition. Click on add. Now we have to modify the load cases according to our consideration. Just I am selecting the wind load in earthquake load in x direction. Click on modify option. So select the direction which is comes under the x direction here, and we have to select the per code value just according to my consideration. Just I am taking 0.36 which is comes under the zone 5 condition. So click on OK. In the same process just I am selecting earthquake load in y direction. So here I am selecting the direction will be of y direction condition system. So click on OK. Select the seismic load in x. So we have to click on select the properties according to our consideration. Just I am selecting wind load in x direction. Just click on modify lateral load. Just I am selecting wind load will be of 44 meter per second which is comes under the terrain category 4. So here we have to change the wind direction angle 0 and 180 here. Click on OK. Again click on OK. In the same process just I am selecting wind load y. So which is comes under the 44. So here I am modifying option which is comes under the 90 degrees as well as the 270 degrees here like this. Click on OK. So click on OK. Now we have to apply all the load cases. So for that firstly we have to assign the dead load condition. So for that just I am selecting all the beams and columns as well as the slab. Assign option, joint loads, select the forces. So firstly we have to assign the self-weight condition system. Just I am selecting 1 1 1 1. So click on apply option so that it will apply the load condition system at the joints only. Okay, now we can see it was applied the load condition systems at the joint. So now we have to apply the load condition system for the frames and the slab section separately. So for that go to select option. Next I am selecting the property which is comes under the frame sections of the beams. Click on OK. So assign option, frame line load, distributed condition. So here in this case we need to add the load condition system for the external wall, internal wall as well as the parapet wall loading condition system. So here in my previous videos I was explained how to calculate the external wall load, internal wall load, parapet wall load. So it is the summation which is approximately equal to 24.3 kilonewton per meter intensity. So here I am selecting the direct value of load as 24.3 kilonewton per meter load. Click on apply so that it will apply the wall load condition system here like this. In the same process we have to apply the load for dead load for the slab. Go to select option for that, property, slab section. Just I am selecting here. Click on OK. Again click on assign option, shell area load, uniform condition. So here I am selecting add to existing with intensity of 2 kilonewton per meter square. Click on apply option so that it will apply the dead load condition system for the slab. In the same process we have to apply the live load condition system for the slab. Go to assign for that shell area load, uniform. Next I am selecting the intensity will be of 3, change dead load to live load condition, add to existing. Click on apply option so that it will apply the load condition system here like this. Click on OK. So after this we need to apply the support condition systems. So for that just I am selecting the selection option, select by story level. So just I am selecting stories, base, select option, close option. Go to assign, joint, restraints, select fixed supports, click on apply, click on OK option. So after that we need to add the load combination system. So for that go to click on define option, load combinations. Just I am selecting default design combination, concrete frame design. Click on OK. Click on OK. Now we have to analyze the structure. So after this go to analyze option, check models. Initially we need to check for the errors, click on OK. So after that we need to do the analysis process. So now here my model is checking for the errors, it is showing no errors. So click on analyze option, so click on the run analysis option. So initially it will ask you to say the model. Just I am selecting out trigger value out. So it will do the analysis process. Then after that I will show you the deflection diagram, shear diagram, bending diagram, and then after that we will do the designing process for the outrigger building by using ETAP software. Now you can see it was done with the analysis process. This is the deflection diagram. So in order to see the shear force diagram, click on display option, show forces, select here as frame spandrella force, select shear to option. So click on apply so that it will display the shear force diagram for the particular structure. In the same process you can click on the bending moment diagram so that it will display the bending moment diagram for the particular structure under considerations of the load cases. Okay, so now we have to design the structure. Now we have to design this outrigger building by using ETAP software. So for that initially we need to unlock the model. Firstly I will add the strips for the slab. Go to edit option here on the top. So click on the add edit strips option, click on edit strips option. So here I am selecting story number 12, which is consisting of grid direction will be of X and strip layer is A. Click on apply option so that it will add the strips in X direction condition. In the same process just I am adding the strip in Y direction condition. Just I am selecting Y with the strip layer is B. Click on apply so that it will apply the strip condition system for the 12th story here like this. So after that we have to add one more strip. Just I am adding the 2 strips only for this building structure. Why? Because if I add the 12 strip condition system for different 12 stories, so that it will take some time for analysis process. To reducing the analysis time, just I am taking the top story as well as the bottom story for the building structure. So here I am selecting the story number 1, X direction and A layer. Click on apply so that it will apply the strip condition system for the A layer. In the same process just I am selecting the grid direction will be of Y with B. Click on apply so that it will apply the strip condition system at the base here like this. So after that we have to analyze the structure again for before designing the structure. So for that just I am selecting here analysis option for the building structure. So now it will do the analysis process for the building structure. Now you can see it was done with complete analysis process. So now we have to design the structure. Click on design option, concrete frame design. So click on view revised preferences. So initially we need to check whether it is having perfect data or not. Click on OK. Then after that again we have to click on the design option, select the concrete frame design, click on the start design check option so that it will do the designing section for the beam sections and column sections. Now we can see it was done with complete designing process of the beams. Now we have to design the slab. Go to click on design of the slab. Click on start designing check option. So firstly we have to select the stories. Just I am selecting first story as well as the 12th story. Click on OK option so that it will start designing your respected model, which is of first story slab as well as the 12th story slab for the outrigger building by using ETAP software. We can see here this is the strip design values for the first story as well as the 12th story for the slab. Now we have to save this model. So Ctrl S option so that your model will be saved here. So now we have to import this model to CSI detailing software. This is the extension for the ETAP software. So here I am selecting CSI 18 version software. So select the file option here. Just I am selecting here new detailing option. So initially we need to select the model. Just I am selecting outrigger building. So just I am selecting here. Initially the data will be exported from ETAP software to CSI detailing software. Now we can see here all the data is extracted here. So initially we need to select some of the option after the extraction process completed. So firstly we have to select the detailing units option. So in this we need to change the force to kilonewton option and select the rebar to ton option here. Click on OK. Select the preferences option. Select the user preferences according to Indian standard system. Click on OK. Select the concrete detailing preferences. You can give the beam name to B option here. Again in the same process column name to C option here and wall name to DEBL option here. Let us consider here. Click on OK. In the same process just I am selecting concrete display preferences. You can select according to your consideration. Just I am selecting simply OK. Rebar rules option here. Just I am selecting here. So you can select the beam rebar rules option, column rebar rules option according to your consideration. Just I am simply selecting here as 150. 150 is the minimum value for the rebar we have to consider. So again I am selecting column. So just I am not changing anything here. Just I am changing minimum value will be of 150 here. and again I'm selecting spandrella. You can change your consideration according to the specifications. Click on OK. Select the default drawings option. You can select any one of the option from this. So drawing sheet setup you can select according to your consideration. So directly click on the OK option so that it will start designing your model, which is consisting of beam sections, column sections, slab section for the building structure. Okay, then after that I will show you the complete results, which is reinforcement results for the outrigger building. Now you can see this is the slab designing results. This is the floor framing plan, this is the rebar plan for the particular structure, and this is the top rebar plan for the particular structure, this is the bottom rebar plan for the particular structure, this is all rebar plan for the particular structure. This is the top rebar plan, bottom rebar plan, this is the section view at A section, section view at B, and this is the reinforcement layer for the particular structure, reinforcement layer B, and this is the bill of material, this is the rebar quantity values, and you can click on the rebar cage view option so that it will load the rebar cage view for the particular slab section with the reinforcement in both X direction as well as the Y direction for the outrigger building. So now we can see this is the rebar diagram for the particular slab section. In the same process I will show you the beam detailing. Select the concrete beam, framing plan, click on the framing plan option so that it will load the framing plan here like this. Next I'm selecting schedules and drawing tables, which is consisting of schedules and drawing for the each and every diagram. So in the same process you can click on the quantities and the elevation. So you can select any one of the floor. Just I'm selecting here one section here, just I'm selecting here. This is the section A, section B, section C for the particular floor. In the same process reinforcement details, building quality, quantities, and select the rebar cage view so that it will load the beam reinforcement diagram for the particular structure. So in the same process just I'm selecting column, just I'm selecting here, just I'm selecting elevation section C1, just I'm selecting here like this. Now you can see this is a rebar cage view for the particular column. So in the same process you can load the other details of beam sections, column sections, and slab section for your particular floor. Whether your floor is second floor or third floor depends upon your floor consideration, you can select. So now we can see this is the rebar diagram for the reinforcement value diagram for the column. In the same process you can select the braced frames also if you want. So you can select the wall frames also, frame detailing also you can select, depends upon your consideration. Okay, so you can select the detailing view option, cover page, note option, this is, and list of drawings option, this is the list of drawings option available, standard detailing of the particular section here. Okay, so this is the complete process of designing of outrigger building by using ETABS software. If you have any queries about this video, please try to text me your questions in the below comment box. I will try to give the answer for that respected questions in my free time. Thank you.